Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Cassie and this is going to be my September wrap-up. I only had 4 books to read in September. I read 1. And then I read 5 more that were not on my TBR. Yeah. So, let's get into it. First book was Atomic Habits by James Clear. Pretty much about taking habits, making them small, or building them on top of other habits that you already have, and building up to bigger habits as you go. That's why it's called atomic, because they're small. So that was pretty much that. I gave it 3 stars. The one book that was on my TBR was The Cheat Sheet by Sarah Adams. It's the only book that I read. Loved it. It was a rom-com. It is a friends to lovers, which, amazingly enough, with all the rom-coms that I read, this one was the first one that was friends to lovers. Usually it turns out that they don't know each other, or they're enemies, or there's something else going on. Not friends to lovers. So I enjoyed that. I gave it, I think, 4 stars. Next, I read Dopamine Nation by Anna Lembke. This is a nonfiction, and it pretty much is about how, as a nation, we have a lot of dopamine at our fingertips, and so it's very easy to get a dopamine hit, and yet sometimes it's also very hard to get a dopamine hit, because sometimes it takes more and more and more and more of something to be able to get that dopamine hit, from what I understood. I did not like this book. I read it, didn't like it. There's a reason for it. They used animals in some of their examples for experimentation. And while there are some animals, I'm just kind of like, okay, yeah, sure, fine. You know, I see the logic. Other animals are like, what? Excuse you? You did what with what animal? Haha, no. So, yeah. 2 stars. Next, I had a book I needed to read before it came out. I actually have I've done a separate review for it, so if you want to check that out, it's on my channel. And it's called Notorious Sorcerer, and it was written by Davinia Evans. I liked the representation in it. I liked the flow of it. It could be a little slow in parts in the beginning, but it picked up towards the end. I think I gave it either a 3.5 or 4 star. So, recommend it if you want to read it. Next, I have another nonfiction called Projections by Carl Deseroth. I liked the science of it. It's again more talk about dopamine and how the brain works, and how you get the dopamine in your system, different ways that it goes and works, and the pathways and whatnot. Totally get that. The writing style killed it for me. It was very lyrical. I can understand lyrical in a fantasy book, or any book, really, except for a science book. When I read science, I'm reading in my mind in a certain way, and it wasn't clicking with me because of the way this was written. So I gave it 2 stars. Then we have the book that put me in a reading slump. And that is Daughter of Sparta by Claire M. Andrews. This is about a girl that's from Sparta but is not really Spartan. And so she's kind of an outcast. And she gets chosen by one of the gods to do a mission. And another god has to go with her. And they go on this journey together to accomplish this mission. And it was slow. I did not connect to the characters. In fact, most of the characters annoyed me. And I don't know if it's because it's YA, if it was the writing, I don't know. I seem to be having this issue mostly when it comes to young adult books. Maybe it's just not my wheelhouse anymore. I don't know. But it is the first fantasy book that I have ever given a 2-star. I totally just had a coughing fit. Anyway. So those are the books that I read in September. I know it's not the end of September yet, but I am in a reading slump. I do not foresee myself actually picking up a book right now, especially because I've got addicted to fan fiction again. It is an addiction of mine to read fan fictions, and once I'm in it, I'm in it. And it takes me a while to extract myself out of it so that I can read books again. So, I am reading fan fiction. I'm reading House of the Dragon fan fiction because I know what happens in House of the Dragon. I don't like it. I'm reading fan fiction of things that I like, or what I would like to see happen, which we all know it's not ever going to happen. That's why it's fan fiction. So I've been reading that. I would like to read a few books, or at least one book before the end of September. But as that is tomorrow, is the last day of September. Hi, Dean. I don't see it happening, unfortunately. So I figured I'd just go ahead and make this video and put it up. What books have you read this month, if any? Are you, do you have the same issue with fanfiction I do? I don't know. Let me know down in the comments. And if you like this video, hit like. And if you want to see more videos by me, hit subscribe. Bye.